One thing I do want to talk about, though, is how much of the concept art of all the Straw Hats have you actually seen?
Not a lot. I know they're like in the initial concept art for Nami, she had a cyborg arm.
Okay, so that is something that I do want to talk about a little bit. It's just that, because when Jinbei officially joined, okay, so uh, I'm going to send you something real quick, and I want you
Okay.
to take a look at it. Hold on. Because I just find the whole concept phase of the Straw Hats so fascinating because so much of their dynamic was actually thought out from the jump. Like once you get past a lot of characters, and it Oda had other concepts for them as well, but it's a lot of the stuff from later on that really stands out. Once he fully fleshed out what he wanted the Straw Hat crew to be. And I wasn't sure if you had seen it or not, but it's too fascinating not to talk about. If I can find that goddamn image. There it is. All right, and there's two versions of it that I'm going to link to you. All right, so here's the first one.
All right. Let's see here. Mm-hmm.
Got it?
All right. Give me a sec here. The page is taking a minute to load up.
It's all good.
Okay. Zoro's pretty accurate. Luffy, Nami, Sop, Brooke, Chopper. Yeah. No, I've seen this one.
Okay, so there's an updated version because apparently Oda decided to hide some stuff. If I can just. I don't know why this one's having trouble being brought up, but whatever. Boop. Shoopity boop boop ba doop boop boo. Alright, sending you the second one now.
Oh shit! There's Jinbei.
Yeah. And that caught me
Wow,
off.
that was actually
Hmm?
yeah. That caught you off guard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit. Huh.
And like
Trying to think how much changed.
right. And so So what I wanted to talk about was the fact that with Luffy, with his original concept that what we saw in the original Romance Dawn, Luffy was so much smarter. Like he was very kind of, I want to say generic almost. Like he wanted to go off and become a peace main, a guy who just is kind of a pirate, but they essentially what the warlords are, but less douchebag.
Yeah, I remember seeing the pilot for that in the like the anniversary episode. They decided to make the Peace Main episode for the fuck of it.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
basically.
get back to Wano.
And then the second version of him was a little bit more accurate, but it's just like Oda really wanted to push the Luffy is less stupid. And
I think making him stupid made him funnier.
basically, not to mention, it made him more reliant on other people. Like, Luffy would never have gotten out of the East Blue had he not gotten the help of everyone else.
Yeah, that's accurate.
And I
I
love
mean, he
that.
even makes a point of staying at Narlock Park.
Yes. And I find his growth very interesting, but he remained pretty consistent throughout all the concept that we saw of him. Like, not much about his appearance ever changed, which I thought was very fascinating.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And it really wasn't broke. But then you get to the concepts of Nami, and those changed drastically.
I bet he just loved playing around with her.
Phrasing.
Phrasing indeed, friend. Phrasing indeed.
Because, like, early concept that she got for, well, the Silk version of Nami was this young girl abandoned in this village by her parents who were pirates. While they were raiding a village, the pirates left. The townspeople saw the baby, raised her as one of their own, and then she did everything she could to defend her home. Sounds very familiar, don't it?
Yeah.
But then you get to the second version, and it's all about the girl Anne saving this animal, this bird called a rock.
A rock?
A rock. That's ROC.
Okay, so she saved a bird called Rock.
Yes. But one thing I will point out to you, you remember the attack that Luffy used to punch Kaido into the ground?
Red Rock.
Yes. I thought that was actually something pretty interesting that Oda decided to do.
Holy shit.
Right? I love this concept shit because it's always just like, ah, I see what you did there. And I wonder what happened with the whole battle axe wielding Nami. Like, what was that going to be?
He might have put her to better use.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's be real though. In a lot of situations where female characters don't get much of the spotlight, at least with Nami, it's because, well, you don't want to put the person who helps you navigate treacherous terrain in too much mortal peril if you can help it.
I mean, yeah, but eh, she realistically has not had like a proper fight since Annie's Lobby.
You are correct on that one. I can't deny that. Although she did have some nice moments in Whole Cake Island, though.
Yeah, for the sake of utility.
Yeah. I mean, lest we forget, the only reason that Luffy was able to defeat Cracker was because Nami literally softened him up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna deny that. It's just like, bro, come on. Like that's the only time we ever get to see anything out of her.
And
Like up until Orlong Park, she was actually kind of like, well, no, not really, but
it's sad. Although she did get the kind of upgrade for a hot minute with Zeus.
yeah, up until Big Mom took him back. And I
Yeah,
was just like, well, you're back to where you were.
yeah, I am kind of disappointed by that, but at the same time, it's also kind of fun to actually see Big Mom utilizing both of her homies. Well, all three of her personal
Yeah,
homies. I forget about Napoleon sometimes.
it's not hard to. He's a hat.
A hat with a sword in him.
Yeah, right. Like, what the fuck is that about?
Oh my god. But Zoro, man, Zoro hasn't changed like at all. Like at all.
Mm-mm. You don't need to change Zoro. He was he was he was another one where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it
Hmm.
wasn't broke.
Although the difference of him not being part of Buggy's crew, I wonder what that dynamic would have been like, though. Because it was described like he was like the oldest brother in that grouping, which they carried over to the Straw Hat Pirates. But it's just like I wonder how that would have felt like having Zoro come from Buggy's crew.
I mean, honestly, seeing Zoro fucking being big brother figure to like Kabaji of all man, Kabaji's too much of a goddamn scrub. Fuck Kabaji, okay? Also, Moji got fat. That man got fat.
Well, Richie got fat too, so.
Bruh, I'm telling you, in the time skip, a lot of people had them a glow up. Not everybody though. Moji got fat. Moji and Richie got fat.
Look, they were living that good life. They got to eat that good food. You don't stop after you get a taste of that good food, man.
But I mean, bro, you could at least do shit so you don't get fat.
Hey, no fat shaming.
No fat shaming. I'm sorry, but Moji, like you already have that awful hairstyle. Now you just look. Now he looks like twice the neck beard.
Oh, ooh, yeah, that one's a big no-no. That one's definitely a big no-no. He was
Like
already not appealing to look at, but like, now it's just like, oh, bro, you need to do something about all
all
that.
this. Like learn to shade your hair in a normal fucking way. Like if you can't grow a mustache, you don't connect the beard to the stash. It just ain't your fucking thing. Although I do seem to like the idea that if he lets his hair grow out, he starts growing bunny ears.
Right? Like, what the hell?
Listen, I'm okay with it. The thing is, like, he's an idiot and a creep, so maybe that's not the best thing to do.
Very true. Sanji, though. I saw a concept for Sanji where way back when he was going to be a dual wielding gunman,
Hmm.
which I thought that was kind kind of
That would have been
like,
interesting.
yeah, that was interesting. But then he starts cribbing Usopp's thing.
Yeah, yeah. Plus the whole Cook thing with, well, yeah, like I mean, like his actual gimmick now is a better one anyway.
Yeah. Although, did do you know what the inspiration for Sanji as he is now originally was?
No, what?
Steve Buscemi from Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, yeah, that I knew.
Okay.
Like his current concept art, he's Steve Buscemi. Yeah.
Yeah. I still can't get over that. It's just like, of all people, you could have told me a million people, and I never would have thought Steve Buscemi was the correct answer. Although, back on the subject of Zoro, I really want to know how he got that scar on his eye and what the significance of that is.
I'm waiting for the fucking day he opens that goddamn eye. He opens that eye, and I swear the entire fucking world is gonna just end.
Like, I'm literally wondering, it's just like, okay, is maybe that the reason why we never see him do the Ashura move anymore? Or is it something deeper than that? Because it's just like, did
Okay,
Mihawk do it?
opens that eye, if he opens that eye and does the Ashura move, I'm going to absolutely lose my goddamn shit.
Oh, man.
Just straight up, like if I record myself reading the chapter and I see that, I'm going to lose it. I I lost it when I read the newest chapter this week. Anyway, fucking slice through the horn of Onigashima, bruh, bruh, bruh.
Right? But you can't be too surprised by that when looking back at all the times he was on that cliffside with Enma and it just sliced through the side of that cliff. Like,
Bro, there's no cliff anymore, thanks to Enma. There's just no cliff anymore.
it's like a sheer flat surface. And the only thing I think of when I look at it is just like, man, the sun's gonna bounce off of that and blind somebody. Like, it's so ridiculous. Although, I will say, in terms of concept, I'm so glad they changed what Usopp looks like, because that's literally just Yasop.
Oh yeah, it's like Yasop with a fucking stereotypical pirate hat.
Yeah. And he was supposed to be like the co-captain or something.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, if there was a co-captain, everyone would eventually just decide, no, man, it's Luffy.
Yeah. Although, let's be real, Nami basically runs the things on that ship.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Like, no hate on
Like,
my boy Luffy. I love Luffy, but nothing on that ship would ever get done if Nami didn't take charge.
okay, yeah, that's accurate. Nami is the fucking like she's the one who keeps everybody alive.
In so many ways. And can we take a moment to just talk about Chopper?
Well, yeah, of course we can. Let's
Just
start off by saying that like his bounty is criminally small.
Despite the fact that when he transforms, he's literally the largest member of the crew.
Yeah.
I, I'm waiting for the moment that at some point someone gets a good shot of Monster Chopper and it's just like realizes, oh, we've been doing this wrong.
I want to see that moment. I want to see the moment where somebody just looks at like all they've like all the stuff the Straw Hats have done, and then looks at the past bounties and just thinks to themselves, we have undervalued every single one of these absolute threats to everything we stand for, and we are fools for it. I want them to make the face that has been killing me all throughout Wano.
Oh, the triple chin, just face.
Yes, I loved when they did it with 3 supernovas. I really did.
It's just like
For long, it was like a breath of fresh air in terms of personality. My God, he's always just like, I'm too cool for everything. I'm too cool for you. I'm too cool for school. Ugh, you're so boring. Like, I like you, but you're boring.
So are you saying
Honestly,
that
with the same
Robin is
outline-
boring as well?
Yeah. So when they made her do the exact same thing with the triple chin face, it made me love her so much more. Cause like I know there's that one character who like thinks they're too cool to be part of a bit, but like nah. Everybody takes part in the bit. You're not too cool to be funny. Don't you ever forget that. No matter who you are in life, you will look like the fool at some fucking point.
Although, I really do have to comment. Concept art Chopper, I don't know how to feel about it.
Our Chopper is well, he's not cute. I'll say that much.
Like, it's just a straight up deer walking around like a dude. And he's smoking.
Like, just imagine that walking past you, say like, "Hey, what's up, man?"
I mean, that's what the minks are for, essentially.
Yeah.
What's that reaction supposed to be? You not digging the minks?
Oh no, dude. Like, I'd have a mink wife in like a hot minute. A hot minute. It's just like the irony of the situation is like you bring up the minks and I'm drawing furry porn. Can I say that?
I don't see why not. Oh man. But even still, like I am glad we did not get concept art Chopper. Although I have to ask you, what did you think about Chopper's transformations after the time skip?
I kind of miss the old ones, but I like that he combined the utility of 2 forms into one, being the arm point and the jumping point into Kung Fu point.
That is true.
I love Kung Fu Point Chopper.
Kung Fu Point Chopper is such a weird emotion for me. And that's the only way I can describe it because, on one hand, I am weirded out by the way that thing looks. On the other hand, I find it hilarious.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point, and that's what I love about it. And honestly, the best part of it, the cherry on top, is this shit got some hands.
And he literally goes around yelling, like, freaking, just Bruce Leeing it up all over the place.
Let's see. I wish Chopper did more after the time skip. He's really leaning into the doctor role, which I'm okay with, but you know, I just want to see more offensive capabilities from all these characters because, there's supposed to be all this growth over the years, and we're seeing it more in Luffy and in Zoro. Sanji
Sanji got the raid suit.
like he got the raid suit, but his move set is just like the only thing he can really say is just like, yeah, he's stronger than he used to be. By what margin, I can't really say, but he still maintained that third place spot in the monster trio.
That's true, but at the
for
same
whatever that matters.
That's true, but at the same time, dude, I don't know about you, but I will never forget the explanation of Sanji's training. It's just like, I ran everywhere I could possibly go to get away from them, until I ran out of places to go. So, I ran up. And it's just like, that's the explanation as how you can walk on the sky? I I don't know if that's incredibly silly, genius, or all of the above.
The correct answer is yes.
Cuz I'm sorry. Ultimately, it sucks that it's basically just Geppo. It's literally just CP9's Geppo. But I love the fact that Sanji's able to do it. It's cool.
It is. It's just like, you know what? That is that was one of my favorite parts of CP9. The fact that they could just straight up walk on the air whenever the fuck they chose. I liked that. And the fact that they gave that to Sanji, whose, primary method of attacking is using his legs, just like, that's actually fucking perfect.
And I
was surprised they didn't give him the shave technique.
That's actually a good point. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like Sanji's style.
Too OP.
Yeah. And I do like
Plus,
the raid suit.
Realistically, no matter how fast he runs, I love his raid suit. I love the transformation sequence. I love that he called himself Soba Mask, thinking that it was cool, and everyone unanimously decides, no, dude, that's not fucking cool. You're a dork.
Like, dude, I'm sorry, but Stealth Black? Yeah, nah, I'd call you that on principle, honestly.
I'm gonna call you that over Soba Mask. Soba Mask, my dude? You know what? Speaking of Sanji and Soba Mask and his raid suit, I want to see what the fuck he does with it, because, bro, you are going through the trial of Roshi right now. That's what I'm calling it.
Oh, keeping away from
Got it.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, Sanji, I know the whole simp thing has been your bit for like years now, but we gotta be stronger than this, bro. The good thing is, like, the fact that you are sincerely into whatever her whole deal is putting her off. That's the good news. The bad news is I don't know how you're going to use that to your advantage, because you are hardcore simping for every single one of her limbs, bro.
She's literally got spider vag. No, I'm out. I draw the line there.
Oh. I mean, hell, Jinbei's like, here's the thing. I don't think Jinbei is going to have a hard time against Who's Who. I just don't.
Oh, but Who's pretty cool cat.
Kitties don't like getting wet, and I'm pretty sure the Fishman will just do nothing but throw water.
Oh, he's going to soak the pussy. Really? No
We have
comeback?
to deal with it. I'm sorry. I half heard you because like you cut out like in the middle of it.
It's all good.
What did I I did have something though actually.
What's that?
Only way to beat a pussy is by getting it wet.
Yeah, that's essentially the joke I made, so you didn't miss much.
Okay.
But see, my thing with Sanji is that at every turn that he's had to actually come out looking like a badass, he doesn't get it. The fight against Virgo. Yeah, he didn't get that. The fight against Doflamingo. Yeah, he didn't get that. Also, Viola stabbed him, I think.
Yeah, so that kind of ruined any chances of him wanting to hit that because I mean, I was rooting for him to hit that after a certain point. I remember that. It's like, bro, she's into you. You might actually get with her.
Yeah. If they ever meet again, maybe they can make up. But then you get to the whole situation in Zoe, and then he has to leave, and then you have the whole situation with his brothers basically bullying him. And come on, man, don't tell me you didn't.
He listen. He could have beat them.
Oh yeah,
Dead ass could have beat them.
like let's not get it twisted. He definitely could have kicked each of his brothers' ass. I mean, hell, he basically did that to Yonji. That's why they had to bang Yonji's face back into place. But you know, he tried to play ball.
I mean, he pretty much had no choice because they had him by the ball.
Mm.
But yeah, fuck Yonji. And fuck Niji. Fucking hate Niji. Asshole.
What about Ichiji?
I'm indifferent to him, but fuck him too.
There you go.
Like, I don't personally hate Ichiji. He didn't do anything to, like, actually upset me. But fuck Yonji. Just on the principle, fuck Yonji. You know what? Fuck him just because his name is Yonji.
What does that mean?
Like, he was the first introduction. He was the first character that we get introduced to that, reveals the awful naming convention. And it's just like, for that, it's just like, I hate you for that. I hate you for that one little thing.
I can't deny that. It's just like, oh, this is what you chose?
Oh, you're doing this bit. Oh no.
I mean, let's be real. Sanji was originally going to be named Naruto.
Everything hurts. I'm glad they didn't go with that.
Literally because Naruto had come out.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. I like Sanji better.
Vin smoked Naruto.
God. Vin smoked Naruto. Fucking... Let's see.
Ooh. So, we also have the original concept for what is essentially not Robin. And that was supposed to be the creepy guy in the cloak who was supposed to be like weirdly into plants.
Was that the guy like standing next to Zoro in the original concept art?
Yep.
Okay, that guy. Honestly, he made me think more of Frankie than Robin.
Oh, the tiny creature next to that guy, that's Frankie's original concept.
Ah, Okay. Don't know how a little guy like him is supposed to fix a big old ship, but all right.
So,
Shut up.
I will say the fact that they gave the whole plant thing to Usopp, I felt was very interesting. And
I just wish they did more with it. Mm.
yeah, that's true. It feels like it only comes up every once in a while.
Plus, it always feels like it's just like a be all end all solution to everything. Like he's got a specific plan for this one specific thing that they need.
Right. At least with his exploding stars, it felt more like okay, he has a limited amount of things that he can unleash. But with the pop greens, it's just kind of like I have everything for any kind of problem ever at all. Period.
Oh, okay. Well, there goes most of the conflict. Then again, he stays out of most of the conflict anyway.
Right? Although I do still think the Impact Wolf was actually pretty fun.
Impact Wolf is like the only thing he's done since the time skip that's my favorite thing.
Oh, what about the moment where he unlocked his observation hockey?
Don't get me wrong, that was a dope ass moment, and I do very much enjoy it. It's just that, well, he hasn't had a chance to showcase much more of it yet, and it feels like this massive fight on Onigashima would have been a good chance to try and put that into play somewhere. Just a casual reminder. Oh, right, he can do that.
Yeah, thought he was going to have that great fight with Page One, and he still could, but at the moment, eh.
He and Nami are running for their lives like they usually do.
Yeah. Well, let's not get it twisted. Beforehand, they were just getting their asses beat.
Yeah, yeah, they were just like. It bothers me that these two can do so much more and still somehow manage to get their asses beat like constantly.
I mean, they are probably the most human out of the entire group.
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm talking no supernatural powers except just, well, for on Usopp's hand, it's just the amount of an ass beating he can take. And with Nami, she can tell the weather. Yeah, that's gonna really help you in combat.
Well, as it turns out, Usopp can take a serious ass beating.
But we been known that between the fight with Chew, the fight with Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas, the
Fight with Chew, just oh, it's so goddamn hilarious to me just because of how it ends.
his Tabasco star, and then he comes flying in with a hammer.
Usopp hammer! Usopp hammer! Usopp hammer! Usopp hammer!
Usopp band.
Keep smacking the shit out of him.
Yeah. Like, I will admit that ultimately, the real shame of it also comes from the fact that Usopp's fight with Luffy really changed the game in terms of Usopp because he was pulling out strategies, plans, techniques, and while ultimately they didn't do much to Luffy, they were actually still doing something.
Yeah, like every move was deliberate and was meant to have an effect. and it did. It's just it wasn't enough because Luffy is just like ridiculously stubborn.
Yeah, it's a very conflicting thing because it's like I'm glad Usopp has his own thing to turn to, his own personal arsenal that he can call upon whenever he needs it. But you don't see the careful selection of which one of the pop greens he has, how many he has in tow. Does he run low? Does he have an infinite supply of them? It's not made to seem like a limited thing that he has. It just feels like an infinite thing that he has. And despite that, you know, it would either be that he always has the right thing for the right situation that he can pull out at the right time and immediately defeat the enemy, or he doesn't always use it, and once the enemy gets in close, he gets his ass beat. It really does feel like a no-win situation with Usopp in terms of actual depth of character nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. You can tell we're like most of the focus is going these days, and while I would love to see, you know, the the backup crew, the retainers of the Straw Hats get some more much needed and much deserved love. It's still really really fucking good just to see just how far both Luffy and Zoro have come. Because fuck, been with them since like the goddamn beginning.
Yeah, but it's basically become the Luffy and Zoro show.
I'm okay with it.
It's hard to be mad at it. Ultimately, because this series does focus on such a wide array of different things. It's not all about the fights. Fights are cool, the fights are great. I love to see it, but eh, there's more to life than that.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh. Not, and then you get to, let's see, Frankie's concept though. Ultimately, that I think that ended up being what the Klabautermann was.
You mean like the little thing that
Yeah,
and the little ghost that's supposed to. I could see that.
yeah. And then when he actually got around to it, I also really love this fact that ultimately Frankie came into being because um, Oda just loved the voice actor for. It was the voice actor of Django, and I think he also did the voice of Mr. Two Bon Clay as well.
Yes. Yes, they're the same voice actor. I could tell from Burning Blood, same voice actor.
And I love that because it's just like, it's fascinating how the anime actually managed to create an entire character. Although I will say, I always find it unfortunate that, honestly speaking, Frankie is probably the least liked member of the Straw Hat crew.
He's the least liked. I love Frankie.
I know, right? But popularity polls, he usually comes in like dead last out of the Straw Hats. If you're not counting Jinbei because he hadn't joined up until now, but eh.
I mean, like, is it the design? Like, people are very split on the design. I mean, like, I'll I'll admit, initially I was not a fan of it, but it's grown on me. it has grown on me. I just wish he wore the Ace Ventura duck more.
I know, right?
But
That
that's just my favorite part of Frankie.
Yes. That is the signature hairstyle. And literally, that's the thing about Frankie's time skip redesign. Because it's just like, when he first showed up, I'm just like, oh, I am not digging that look at all. Like, it just seems off. But the moment he brings back his signature hairstyle, it's just like, yes, the
I'm
king
sold.
has returned.
Oh, listen, I'm glad he brought it back for Fishman Island because God, was it fucking needed.
Also that moment where, because Frankie gets cool moments few and far in between, like when he kind of that moment where he took on Buffalo and Baby Five, kinda, but man, that showdown with Senor Pink, that had me feeling things for a whole different set of reasons.
Tell me about it. First off, like with the whole Buffalo Baby 5 thing, he held his own against those two. They literally could not do anything to fucking stop him, realistically.
Right.
Um, bro, when it came to fucking Mr. Pink, though, Jesus, sorry, Mr. Pink, Senor Pink, bruh.
Put some respect on that name.
Yeah, exactly. Bruh, fucking. That was a fight between men.
So
The
hard
manliest of
boiled.
men.
Oh man, it was a great time. It really was a great time.
Man.
Oh, and then the moment where he comes bursting in to Onigashima on his motorcycle,
And crash
slamming right
in the big
into Big Mom's
face.
face. Yes.
Oh, that was so fucking great. That was the pinnacle super moment right there.
Not to mention, it looks like Frankie's actually going to get to have a showdown with Sasaki, who I'm pretty sure is Kokoro's son?
Remind me who Sasaki is again?
Um, the guy who turned into a Triceratops.
Oh, Frankie. Oh shit. Wait, what makes you so sure he's Kokoro's son?
If you look at Sasaki's colors and the hat he's wearing, and then you look at Kokoro, and it's just like, mm, mm,
Huh.
mm.
Huh.
Because he has light green hair and a hat that looks like the conductor of a train. Not to mention, it's pretty obvious he's a fishman.
How can you tell?
The sharp teeth?
Is that always a giveaway for fish?
Yes. That's literally how we figured out that Jack was a fishman.
So wait, there. I don't remember there ever just. Yeah, I guess. Huh.
Hell, Dellinger is half fishman. And the giveaway was the sharp teeth.
Huh. I keep forgetting about that like minor detail.
Yep. And it's funny because Oda always does that. It's just like, how do you know this person is a fisherman? Sharp teeth. Oh, God.
I gotta admit though, I did like the cover art for chapter 1002 with Lucci and all those damn pigeons.
Just chilling out, giving food to pigeons, despite the fact that those pigeons bullied poor Hattori.
Honestly, I think it's just fucking great to have like the one humanizing moment for the man whose smile could kill a million puppies. Bro, Rob Lucci was just the, oh my god, like best villain, worst fucking person ever.
Mm. It's just like, I'm doing it because it's justice. Also, I'm a psychopath, but I find those things go hand in hand.
So technically, I'm a justice path. Yes, that's how that works.
Oh, God. Although it was great to see him in Stampede just kind of doing his thing. That was fun.
You know, I still haven't seen it since we went to go see it at the theater.
Oh, really? Oh, so fun, dude.
Like, I want to watch it in English again, but the only version I can find online is with subtitles.
Nah, yeah,
So
I feel that.
so now I'm starting to think like maybe I should just bite the bullet and like buy the Blu-ray for Stampede just because. I was thinking about it too, but I never actually like did it.
Man, treat yourself.
I will, but first I gotta be a responsible ass adult first.
That's never fun. And it's also relegated only to Vindu in English. Ugh. Who watches Vindu? Oh, Voodoo. Vondu? However you pronounce that shit.
What's
It's
it called?
available. It's Vundu? I think it's some app. Although I think it's also available on the Funimation site. Although I hate using Funimation stuff.
It's not very reliable, is it?
It really isn't. Although now that they're owned by Sony, maybe.
Huh.
And now Crunchyroll is also owned by Sony, so maybe they'll fix that shit.
Maybe. Guess we'll see.
Alright. Ooh. Also, Brooke. Brooke was originally
Yes.
supposed to be introduced like around the time that Laboon was introduced.
Wow.
Like, I wonder how the series would have changed if that had actually happened.
Well, he probably would have had to be there instead of Crocus.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, but man, that would have been kind of fucked up. It's just like, yeah, he's just a pile of bones living inside this giant whale. It creates a very different atmosphere for Laboon, honestly.
Yeah. Right? Like it suddenly makes him what's a fucking whale in Pinocchio called again?
Monstro?
Monstro, that's it. Like Brooke
Geez.
is Geppetto not having escaped, and Laboon is now Monstro.
Which is ironic since Usopp is essentially Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Hmm. Also, one thing that I have been wondering about for the longest time. Also, just put it out there before we move on. I love Brooke. I really do.
Honestly, such a good character. He's really well done. His design is just like very iconic. And you know what? He's got a great fucking personality.
Right? I mean, you better have a great personality after all that time you spent with yourself.
Yeah, right? Shit. Plus, realistically, he's a skeleton.
I don't think
Like,
you can be realistic with that.
there's nothing else you can say. He's a goddamn skeleton.
Skeleton. Also, I love the fact that like his attacks are always so fun to see ever since the time skip. Well, even before the time skip. Like his what was it? Notch verse where he just
Uh, uh, well, I know the in English it's like three verse humming arrow notch slash, right?
yes, there we go.
And and it's just like that typical anime, like he makes a slash and you think everything's fine, but it's really not, but you don't find out until he sheathes the sword.
But what I
Bro,
really love is
I
the
live
fact that he always says, "I cut you." And they're just like, "What? Nani?"
yeah. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something? I had already cut you. What?
Not to mention he reprises that when he comes in on Frankie's motorcycle up against Big Mom, and he just cuts Prometheus in half. No, no, it was Zeus he cuts in half. Zeus. It's just like, I cut you. And Zeus is just like, what? And then he's just in two pieces. And then
I genuinely love that Brooke was able to fucking like. I love that Brooke's able to hurt Big Mom's homies. That like immediately makes him so much more powerful.
And the funny thing is, it's because much like how when it comes to Mihawk up against Buggy, and it's just like, you can't really do too much to him if you're going with swordplay, but like it's like the equivalent of that, where it's just like, oh, I have power over souls. I also have power over souls. Ooh, this is a bad matchup.
My soul's stronger than yours.
But I also love the fact that, yo, Brooks' soul solid, where it's just like, yes, it is the power of the coldness of the underworld.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit's fucking ridiculous, but the way he uses it, it's fucking badass.
Right?
And I want to see more of it.
I do too.
I mean, I love the whole like giant spectral fucking, projection of his soul and shit, but at the same time, I'm a fan of Soul Solid.
It's pretty solid.
Exactly.
Although, with that giant projection, especially, dude, that moment in Whole Cake Island where he's jamming out and you see the giant spectral Brook come out and he's just disrupting all of Big Mom's homies because he has power over souls, especially when he plays his music. And it's just like, yes, Brook is thriving.
The most metal fucking shit ever, and I loved it.
Brook is just fun. That's the thing. Brook is just fun.
He is. I was honestly thinking that at some point, like, if I get back into making like cosplay props, I'm gonna make a Brook mask.
That could be fun.
Just gotta get an afro.
Get one from Party City.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ooh, one thing I wanted to talk about. Robin. The fuck did she do with the Revolutionary Army?
That's an excellent question. That is an excellent fucking question.
Because I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm just like, wait, Robin knows Koala, who knew Jimbei. There's a link. And she also knew Sabo. I'm like, huh, okay. But there's, like, that raises the question of why she didn't mention any of that to any of them unless they never brought it up. So there's that one mystery. But another thing is, obviously Dragon got some kind of information from her, and she had to have worked with them for 2 years. what did she do during those 2 years?
I, good question. We're not gonna fucking know until Oda decides we're gonna know.
Because it's just like, you have this character who is just so versed in espionage, ancient history, and teaming up with Dragon, and apparently nobody knew she had done this. And Dragon wanted her for some reason because the Revolutionary, when they went to Tequila Wolf, they specifically wanted Robin to join up with them for a little while. And it just raised so many questions for me.
I get the feeling we're gonna find the answer sooner or later. Probably after Wano, because, obviously it's like the most relevant thing right now. But, well, if the government's on the warpath, chances are the revolutionaries are probably going to have to move out. Especially given that, like, Sabo has been, quote, put to death. Man, that fish is 2 days old and I ain't buying it. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think Sabo has been imprisoned and is going to be executed.
Oh, God.
Not publicly, but he's going to be executed. And this time around, Luffy is going to get involved, probably with the rest of the crew, and he's going to have a second chance to save his brother. So it's like a repeat of what happened with Ace, only we get the good ending this time.
See, I was thinking about that too, but at the same time, I don't want a repeat to that degree. Like, it's just like, oh, he manages to do it because he has all his friends along. It's just like, yeah, that's fine and all, but I want it to be something more interesting. Like, I don't know, Sabo, it's all, hearsay, it's a lie, it's not true. It was a way of drawing the revolutionaries out, but ultimately Sabo's perfectly fine and he's just undercover or some shit. I really don't want a complete rehash.
See, the thing is, I could picture that being part of it. I could also picture that having something to do with, like, I don't know, let's say Luffy eventually does have to confront Eam at some point. That might be his motivating factor in order to do it. It's just like Sabo is in trouble. He needs your help. You basically got to take on the government, like the government, to save your brother's life. I could see it becoming like a second God Valley incident in that regard. Like a lot of parts will come together, form this huge cataclysmic event that alters the course of history, and the Straw Hats are obviously going to be in the center of it all because, well, wherever they go, they are.
Yeah, you got a good damn point there, honestly. It's just really hard to tell. But it's stuff like that that really makes me think, yeah, this story, it has to go on for at least 10 more years because finding One Piece, defeating the Yonko, finding out what happened with Sabo and his whole deal, finding out what Dragon's truly after in terms of the Revolutionary Army, the Void Century. Are we ever going to go to the moon and find out what the deal is with that? The whole prophecy of Joy Boy and the apology to Neptune. Like, dude, that's a lot of mysteries. And we still haven't been to Elbath.
Feeling that, like, eventually we'll get to a lot of these things, at least within the next 5 years. I mean, if he's got it like planned down to 5 years, then chances are I don't doubt that Oda's, got a pretty good idea of what he's doing. I don't doubt that. It's just going to be daunting kind of task.
That's
And I'm
put
not really sure how he's going to pull it off.
that's putting it mildly. It re-
Honestly, at this point, I choose to reserve judgment until Wano finishes because right now their biggest challenge is that they're currently taking on two fucking emperors, not just one, two. And they had to run their asses the fuck away from Big Mom for like a whole ass year before they finally got away.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Really does raise a lot of questions about how we're going to get to the end of this series because that's the one thing that Oda has really done that I applaud and kind of disparage. Is just like, yo, you made these really big obstacles, and I'm like, yo, how they gonna get over this?
I know a lot of people want to speculate on there being like a gear fifth. I'm just like, we good. We don't need fifth gear. I don't I don't know what you can really do in fifth gear that you haven't done in the other three already.
Yeah, I mean,
Realistically speaking,
yeah, because there's been a pretty natural progression, unless you want to, focus like fifth gear more on Rio. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, but you can just incorporate that into fourth gear, so you really have no reason to go that far.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I want to know if there's like some sort of like because all right, let's be real. Whole Cake Island, he developed his observation hockey. In Wano, he's developing his conqueror's hockey. I imagine that whatever it is he's going to be doing when it comes to facing off against Shanks, it's going to develop his conqueror's hockey. Just, with the way things are progressing. I don't know if there's any way conqueror's hockey can be further, you know, expanded upon, but hey, I didn't think you could expand further on observation hockey, and here I was wrong.
Yeah, but it's really hard to tell if you could, because you you can at least see the through lines when it comes to armament and observation. You could see those lines, but when it comes to conquerors, it's like, yeah, it's an over a domineering a bit of willpower that you're just exerting. Like, how do you upgrade willpower? Just have more will? Like, come on.
It's hard to say. It could just um it could just be like a specific thing you have to train. I mean, listen, we'll have to see for ourselves because I'm not totally sure myself.
Mm,
I feel like the natural progression would be to strengthen his armament hockey, not armament, sorry, his conqueror's hockey, but I'm just genuinely not sure how.
yeah, it's
I mean, for all I know, it, it could just be like reaching, like for all we know, the hint that you could take it further is the fact that, well, when emperors clash, they split the sky. It could be something having to do with that.
I mean, that is true. Close. We haven't seen him get that far yet, so that might be the possibility.
I mean, realistically speaking, incorporating Ryuo right into his armament hockey. Let's say let's say you're able to do something like that with your conqueror's hockey. Like you imbue that pure will into something and just strike with a way that transfers that energy through to your opponent. I mean, that might actually be something.
Hmm. like exerting your dominance over another person.
Yeah. I mean, that might just be what the emperors are trying to do. They're trying to exert their dominance over one another, but the forces are so equal that they clash and they split the sky.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that seems to be what it is. Although, you know, the funny thing is though, kid,
Hmm?
kid. Kaido said Kid also had Conqueror's Haki.
Well, yeah.
I'm waiting for that to be relevant.
Yeah, right? Because, like, first off, we never even seen this motherfucker use it. Second, I mean, like, in what situation would it even work for him?
I mean, he had to
Okay,
have
but
put it out during the time he was fighting Kaido because Kaido knew about it, and the only time that Kaido would have known about it was when they first met. But it's also in the same capacity of when we were told in one of the data books that Boa Hancock has Conqueror's Haki. Okay, when we gonna see that?
hmm. See, now I'm thinking, like, what if Kid can do that with his punk rotten? And now I'm just picturing that colliding with Luffy and fucking splitting the sky because that'd just be cool as shit.
Right? That does sound pretty cool.
Either that or one of the emperors, because that'd be fucking dope.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just really hard to tell where any of this is going. Like, Oda has created so many threads and directions and this, that, and the other that, man, One Piece is damn near like a giant mystery at this point. It's just so full of questions.
And you know what? The fact that like we're eventually getting all the answers is what I love the most about it.
I love it and I'm
Like, yeah,
terrified of it.
that just makes me love it even more. It's just like, what complete, what shit are you going to do that I cannot comprehend, but will have no choice but to accept? But we'll accept anyway because it'll fall into place. Because it always seems to just fall into place.
Oh, most definitely. Like, even the stuff that he didn't plan falls into place well because, and I never forget it, Vivi. Vivi was a last minute decision. Vivi was just gonna be another member of Baroque Works, and then he was just like, oh, I'm taking them to Alabaster, and I need some reason to get them there, and Vivi kind of looks like a princess with her hair down. She's a princess of Alabaster. Boom, go.
And it worked. I mean, I think I'm like the only person in history who doesn't like care that much for BB. I don't know. I've seen Alabasta like twice, maybe even like three times if you count like the movie version that shortens it, but I don't know. BB wasn't my favorite character.
I can't really fault you for that. It's not like she really had any special skill or anything like that. I found her to be a nice character and a character I really loved, but I can't blame someone for not really gelling with the character either.
Well, what? Because that's the thing. BB was, for all intents and purposes, a plot device.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
And like that was honestly one of my biggest concerns with Robin. I didn't like as a character, I felt like she was kind of boring because she was like too cool for the bit most of the time. but it was also just the fact that, like, what do you do? Kind of seems like you're just here to, for the sake of the plot. Like, we need you to move the plot along because you're the smart one who bothers to ask the questions that we need to be asking in the situation.
I mean, yeah, that's essentially it. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Robin. I was overjoyed when she came aboard because, quite frankly, when she was first introduced, I'm just like, oh, damn, she dangerous. She mad dangerous. But,
I mean, with a name like Miss All Sunday, the only thing I could think was like, oh, she could have me all Sunday, all Sunday.
take me to church. Oh, my.
No, girl, take me away from church. We're not gonna do any holy shit right now.
But you're not wrong, though. You know, start asking questions about Pluton and its in ancient Alabaster history. You want to know more about the history of Jaya? Robin's gonna question the history of Jaya and Sky. You know, why is Robin being pursued? Because she knows too much about the Void Century. What the fuck is the Void Century? Hey, Robin wants to know that question. Follow her and learn a little something something. Oh, Tequila Wolf, one of the oldest man-made structures that are still being built today. Of course the history person was sent there. Oh, information about Neptune that someone needs to ask the king about. Of course Nico Robin's gonna ask those questions. Like, if you, for any
Because
sort
she
of
knows.
depth, you always go to Nico Robin. But yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's basically all Robin really is there for. Just plot. Things that you should be asking. Things that you should be questioning. Make series go longer, plot machine. Make it go longer.
yeah, basically. And that was kind of like the thing I didn't really like about Robin, because, like, she's, of course she's hot, of course she's pretty, of course, like, thing is, like, I wanted to see more of her power in use. Like, she beat that one guy who was there on Skypiea. I cannot remember his name. He clearly did not matter enough to the plot.
Nope.
And she's supposed to have, like, more experience with her powers, which you see in terms of utility. But again, that's the same problem I have with Nami. It's just utility. You're not really using it in, like, a combat setting, and both Nami and Robin's powers would be extremely useful and effective in a combat setting.
One thing that went around for the longest time was people wishing that Robin had picked up some of the techniques of CP9 as well as armament hockey, because with her power she'd be insanely dangerous.
You know what? With CP9's power, I could see it. With armament hockey, she'd be broken. She'd be broken, though.
Mm-hmm. Like,
also, tell me it's not just me, but when she uses one of her most devastating attacks, it's just like I'm always turned on. Bro, giant leg.
Shame on you. Shame. I feel it though. Especially feel it if she crushes you. It's pretty
I'm
hot.
okay with this. Step on me, giant lady.
Oh my god. Now, I do also want to talk to you about Jinbei. Jinbei joining the crew finally. What did you feel about this monumental moment?
Finally! That's all I felt about it. I'm just like, bro, fucking Finally! Christ! You promised us this years ago at Fishman Island. Literal years ago. I've been sitting here waiting this whole time. I'm like, man, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. But he forgot. He forgot, and it's not gonna happen. And then he finally came back, and it's just like, oh, he didn't forget. And then, Whole Cake Island happened, and Jinbei's just like, I can't come with you guys because I gotta make sure, like, my old homeboys don't, like die trying to escape. It's just like, I get it. I do. I'm so not feeling the fact that you gotta fucking delay it again. Even more now.
Uncle Jinbei said he'd live with us, but he keeps going away. But we finally got our helmsman, though.
Honestly, I just love that, like, when Who's Who confronts him, and it's just like, yeah, bro, I'd rather if you just gave, like, if you address me by the title that holds more weight to it. I'm the helmsman for the Straw Hat Pirates. Get that right, please.
It's like, bitch, put some respect on that name.
Like, nah. Don't talk about all that other bullshit. That's in the past. That don't matter no more. Talk about a pirate group that disbanded a long ass fucking time ago. Nah, bro. Come on.
Although I am intrigued to know, what does Who's Who know Jinbei from?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Because, like, even Jinbei doesn't even know. Like, bro, how do I... Like, are you fucking with me?
Like, maybe if you took off the whole, mask situation, I might be able to tell who be.
Yeah, I might be able to tell who's who if you took off your mask, who's who.
But I really do love Jinbei. It's been a long time coming. And to see that he was actually supposed to be part of the crew from Jump, like, I never would have guessed that.
Especially considering how long it's taken him to get there. Sake. Jinbei, you took the absolute longest out of everybody to join. And you met up with everybody, like, long ass time ago, bro.
See, the thing that really kills me is the fact that we found out about Jinbei all the way back during the Baratier arc.
Yeah, but transitioning between Baratier and Arlong Park, they referenced Jinbei, and it's just like, man, who's this Jinbei guy? Are we gonna meet him?
And it wasn't until friggin' Impel Down, like, what?
400 episodes later?
Yeah, 400 episodes, 400 chapters later, we finally find out about Jinbei, and it's just like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. He's incredibly pleasant. What?
He seems to be like the nicest member of the entire Seven Warlords.
Right.
And that includes the absolutely cruel monster lady who looks very pretty and is currently simping over the main character.
Yeah, she kicks puppies, but she simps hard.
Yeah, she really does kick puppies, but, like, at the same time, them titties though.
Like, baby got back. Also, something that I didn't realize that really kind of highlighted his position in the crew is that moment after they escaped from Impel Down and got on that marine ship. Who was the person who started immediately taking to the helm of the ship? None other than Jinbei.
Of course.
Like I kicked myself for not even remembering that. But
Well, I mean,
dude,
you can't blame yourself at the time of at the initial time of seeing it. You're just like, okay, he he's taking control of the ship. All right, anybody could have done that, but I guess he took the initiative on that one.
yeah, and nobody questioned it. Everybody's just like, yeah, you do that. You do it good. You do that thing.
Yeah, but then you get to fucking Whole Cake Island, and Jinbei is just like, "I'll take the helm." It's just like, okay, cool. Don't let us die. And just when it seems like they're about to die, Jinbei pulls off like the absolute most baller fucking move in the whole goddamn series.
Like essentially drifting inside of a goddamn wave.
And that was the coolest shit I ever fucking saw.
Ugh. But man, freaking 200 chapters to see Jinbei again. 200 chapters.
Ooh, you know what? Oda is really, really fucking good and bad about that. Like he's good at what he does when it comes to that kind of shit, but he's also really bad at it because he will take his time.
Like, exactly. Like, and, and the thing is, like, because I obsessed over it, I'm just like, I wonder how long it took for him to come back again. 75 chapters.
Hmm.
Like, between Whole Cake and him rejoin the crew, 75 chapters. Almost exactly. Actually, I think it was exactly.
Wasn't it? Yeah, yeah. So he shows up like right in the middle of Act 3 of Wano, right?
If you could call this the middle, yeah, sure.
Well, that's why I said Act 3.
Actually, I think it's the beginning of Act 3, kind of. Because,
Yeah, I guess 'cause, like, it starts with the flashback with Odin, and then it goes right into the battle on Onigashima.
yeah. And we've been in
Hmm.
Act 3 for
So yeah,
a
okay,
good
it is
while,
the
too.
beginning.
But it was a long
I
time
still just
coming.
love how everyone starts like when they enter the building, right? When they get in, they're like prepared to do all this undercover shit. And then just one guy had to say one thing to set Luffy off.
Of course. Like, the fact that they even brought Luffy on this mission, yeah, he's vital, but y'all know you immediately destroyed your plan the moment you brought him in on this, right?
Yeah, what is stealth? Stealth goes out the window. The best part about it was that like it wasn't just Luffy. Zoro was like immediately in on it once he said like, "Hey, they made fun of red bean paste." Oh, okay, so we gotta fuck them up then. Yeah, yeah, we really gotta fuck them up.
It's time to ruin some day. But a good time overall, though.
Yeah, I fucking love how Kid was just like Kid was just dead ass like, man, these fucking dumbasses are gonna get us in fucking trouble. Then the very second he saw Apu, he forgot everything he just said.
Let's be real, though. I'd fuck up Apu, too.
Oh, dude, Apu is hands on sight. Hands like you do that shit to me, hands on sight.
Although
Fuck you.
I still do love his ability, though.
The fact that like the power of music,
Yes.
that's a broken ass power, and literally the only way you could avoid any of it is by being deaf.
Yeah.
pretty fucking broken ass bomb ass power.
I still think back to that moment on Saboti where he attacks Kizaru, and Kizaru's just like, the fuck is going on? As he's being split into pieces, but it's just like, I'm light, baby, I don't care.
Like, this doesn't affect me, but what is happening and why?
Although I will have to say, rest in peace to his voice actor who passed away not too long ago. His English voice actor.
Who?
Apu.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a mad bummer.
I know Sengoku's voice actor died like a while ago too.
Yeah.
And Blaylock, English voice actor.
It's always a really unfortunate situation when when anyone passes away. Although I have to tell you, I also really love Scratchman Apu's epithet, the roar of the sea. Like, yo, boo, dude,
That's a pretty
dude.
that's a pretty dope ass name. It's like, damn, you actually sound like someone not to be fucked with.
And yet he gets his ass kicked left and right.
I still, to this day, love that Zoro was just like, fuck you, Apu. Fuck you, Queen. Fuck this shit. I'm going up top.
Yep,
Y'all got this?
The moment he saw Kiku's arm, it's just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Enough of this fuckery. We got shit to do.
Okay, so we've been over all of the current Straw Hats. My question to you is, who do you think will be the next Straw Hat crew member?
That is gonna be kind of tough. That's a really tough call. Like, let's see. The essentials are covered with a doctor, a cook, a navigator, and a shipwright. Luffy's desire to have a fucking musician has been met. Robin is going to be the one who takes them to Laugh Tale just because she can read the poneglyphs. At this point, it's really, really hard to tell who's going to join the Straw Hats next. I am a strong proponent of Carrot. She gets along with all the crew very well. Like, this one channel I follow doesn't want to speculate Yamato, but can understand why people would want Yamato, but at the same time, it's just like, we have Robin, so we wouldn't need Yamato. It's really hard to say at this point who, if anyone, is going to be another joining the Straw Hat crew.
Okay, so there's one thing, because I've been obsessing over this for like the past month or so, trying to figure out a pattern into the way this thing goes. When Zoro was introduced or being speculated on, we heard about him first from the previous arc because of Alvida knowing about him, as well as
Mm.
Kobe, and then we were introduced to him. Strong ass dude. Yeah, that's all we really needed, and all he really is. Strong dude. With Nami, her introduction come way of some members of Buggy's Pirates who got swindled and ended up in a squall because of her, a downpour. And immediately Zoro mentioned, she seems to really knows the sea pretty well. She would make for a great navigator. Like, boom, immediately knew what we were looking for with Nami. Immediately knew what we needed from Nami. With Usopp, it was a little different because we knew about his skill through his dad, Yasop. You know, you learn about what Yasop can do. We're shown that Usopp can do it as well. Boom, marksman, go. You get to Sanji, they were already looking for a cook. Boom, bam, boom, join my crew.
Same thing with Chopper as a doctor.
Yeah. And with Chopper, that was kind of a misdirect because initially, when Chopper rolls up, he rolls up with Dr. Kureha. And you start to think that maybe Kureha will be the one who joins the crew. Until you find out about Chopper, and it's just like, as soon as you find out about Chopper and all the stuff he can do, it's just like, oh, he's joining the crew.
No, nobody wants to be with this old lady, so we're just gonna get the cute little fuzzy mascot thing and move on.
And then we get the thing that throws a lot of things off because Nico Robin is introduced. And 100 and something chapters later, she asked to join the crew. But we don't initially know what her skill is at first. It is until like the ass end of Alabaster we learn what she can do, and at first it's very hard to tell what the significance of her ability is. In truth, is to further the plot, but at the same time, hey, we love the One Piece world, we want to know more about it, so it works out. And then you get to Frankie. Frankie threw me off as well when I think about him. Because I don't know if you remember or were reading at the time, but a lot of people thought it would be Paulie who ended up being the shipwright for the crew.
I wasn't reading at the time, so no.
Yeah, but see, that was around the time I really started getting into One Piece proper, and that was the biggest rumor. Paulie's gonna join. We love Paulie. A few people thought it would be Kaku as well, but most people were vying for Paulie. Up until you started to notice, hey, Frankie seems to be doing a lot of the fighting, and he really knows a lot about ships. Oh, he's the shipwright, gotcha.
Yeah, he was kind of carrying the arc in Enies Law.
He really was. So much centered around him, too.
It's like at that point, you know Frankie's involved. And, you know, Brooke was I can't say he wasn't alluded to because Luffy had been looking, like he mentions early on that he wants a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And that had come up like at least a few times. So like, you know, you finally get to a point where like, oh, he found the musician. He found the coolest musician.
Exactly, because the moment Brooke shows up, he's singing Bink Sake, love it. And the moment he bores on the crew after Luffy is just like, join my crew, and Brooke says yes, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck? And, you know, as he's hanging with the crew, he gets ready to pull out a goddamn violin, and it's just like, oh, you play the violin? And he's just like, yes, I'm a musician by trade. And it's just like, yep, there it is. Case closed. He's the musician.
Yeah, basically. We just had to, take a minute to get there.
Exactly. Now,
After that,
hmm?
yeah, and it was after that point that like they just went like a while. Well, it was after that point that the crew got separated. So Brooke was actually with the crew like the least before the separation.
Oh yeah, which is actually really kind of sad because it's just like he just met some people he could really be friends with, and they immediately get separated. That's kind of sad.
Isn't it though? That's why I like to think of Strong World as being canon, just so Brooke can have just a little extra time with his new friends.
Yeah, but in the
And because Shiki is a character.
yes, oh man, I really do love Strong World. Always a good time. And next up is Jimbei. And with Jimbei, as I mentioned before, you get his helmsman skills, but it's not until like almost 20 chapters after he's introduced. And you don't, it's nothing, attention isn't even brought to it at the time.
Yeah, because everybody's focus is on like, oh man, it's a tense situation. We have to rescue Ace before he dies. Back when everybody thought that that was a possibility.
Exactly. And Jimbei, man, the slow burn that Jimbei was put on to before he joined up. We went through so much before Jimbei was even like put in a position where you might think he would join.
Yeah. Thing is, like, when you look back on it, Jinbei was acting like the most like a friend, a comrade, a confidant, all that to Luffy within just meeting him. Like he and Luffy like immediately clicked.
Yeah. And at the time, a lot of us really only chalked it up to, oh, because Jinbei knows Ace and is a friend to Ace, Luffy is Ace's brother, of course they should click like that. Of course they should have the same mission. Nobody realized how deep that rabbit hole actually went.
Like that, believe it or not, is only just like the start of it. There was so fucking much more.
And Jinbei really, really pulled through for Luffy on numerous occasions. Like he was the after Bone Clay was separated from Luffy, he was the man supporting Luffy left, right, and center throughout the entirety of the Marineford arc.
Mm-hmm.
Like steering.
You the one who had to get Luffy out of the fucking situation with Sakazuki to keep him from dying.
Mm-hmm. And he ended up getting blasted through the stomach for that effort too.
And yet, surprisingly enough, no scar, no death.
Right? I still wonder about that. I still feel like there should be a scar. Maybe there is a scar that we just can't see, or it hasn't been, we haven't had our attention brought to. Because I'm just like, if it left a scar on Luffy, it went through Jimbei. You can't tell me there's no scar.
There should be. There really should be.
And then you get to the moment where he's, bringing Luffy back and telling him, don't you have other people waiting for you? And like, man, Jinbei was really a G. He really was a good man to Luffy for so many reasons.
Jinbei was like that wise father figure. Like you needed a everybody needs a Jinbei in their life, I think.
Yes. Oh, yes. And that moment when they, went to Fishman Island and they all came bursting into the arena to take on the new Fishman pirates, when he was like standing next to the other Straw Hats, it was just like, Hmm, this feels right. Oh, Jinbei gonna be next crew member.
And then Luffy asks him, "Hey, join my crew." And it's just like, yeah, seriously, join the fucking crew, Jinbei.
Get on the fucking boat, Jinbei.
He's like, "Nah, not yet." What you mean, not yet, fool?
Oh man, it really was such a such a long wait. It was such a long wait.
Been 300 years.